Today we are going to meet Fhaola. Finn was diagnosed as a celiac at 19 years of age, just as she was about to go away to study at college. She's going to tell us how difficult it was for her to find healthy, believe it or not, and tasty gluten-free food, and how she took this disadvantage and turned it into a new business. You received a fairly serious diagnosis at 19 of being celiac, but how did you feel coming up towards that?
So kind of before I'd been diagnosed, even for years, I just was getting weaker. I had all these unexplained stomach problems, just always kind of in pain when I ate. It was kind of a horrible feeling.
And then when you found out at 19 you were just about to go to college, you must have been really upset.
Yeah, mostly just kind of shell-shocked. I mean, I always did help out and stuff at home, but you kind of don't realise maybe how reliant you are on your mum for nutritional value and actually looking after yourself. And when I first went off to college, I would have just, student food is toasties and pizza and pasta, and I couldn't eat any of it. So it was just a bit of a shock.
And what did you do to feed yourself?
So at first I had like an extra part-time job just to kind of pay for all the gluten-free products. I just was trying to eat the same thing as everyone else, but just buying the kind of maybe not as tasty, probably not as healthy either, gluten-free version. And then as time went on, from reading all the packets constantly and being kind of horrified by the ingredients, I just started to cook from scratch myself. So learned to cook.
The gluten-free food though can be quite full of sugar, can't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise. I think most people probably think when they see gluten-free that it's just automatically healthy, and I know some people probably make that choice even just looking for the healthier option on a menu, but you actually kind of need to read it. They, I guess, are trying to replace the flavour that you feel like you lose when you don't have wheat or something like the bread, so there's quite a lot of sugar put in just to make it taste nice.
Did you feel much better when you went on the gluten-free food?
Absolutely. I mean, right away the really obvious one was just not being in pain anymore. Like, food was no longer a cause of discomfort. And then as time went on, my strength came back as well, and that was really the big thing.
To get your strength back though, you went on a little bit of a journey, didn't you?
Oh God, yeah. So I think before I was properly diagnosed, even when I just started to go off maybe wheat before I understood kind of what gluten meant, I was still really, really weak. I'd lost maybe about 10 kilos, and I'm quite short anyway, so that's a lot for me. And I could barely carry like a stack of plates upstairs, and I'd gone from doing athletics and dancing and rowing and training like up to 9 times a week to barely being able to jog. And then once I was diagnosed and started on the diet, it was quite quick to be able to get back to exercising, and then maybe over the course of a year I was able to surf and do all that kind of stuff again, which was really, really good.
So learning to cook and studying science, you have actually put to great use. So you learned how to cook delicious gluten-free food yourself.
Yeah, so I guess I would have been studying chemistry as part of my college degree, and that kind of made me approach cooking in a really weird way. So I know they say baking is a science and cooking is an art, so I was choosing cooking as a science as well. And that meant just figuring out gluten is basically a glue, it's a protein, and if the glue is gone, what's holding your food together? So it was figuring out what else I could add to dishes to kind of bring back that consistency, and means that because you can make gluten-free food taste nice, but then it's lovely if it actually feels the same as the regular recipe. You want pancakes that you can tear, pizza crusts that are crunchy, stuff like that.
Well, you have a deadly pancake recipe. Before we go any further, can you just share it with our viewers?
Yes, absolutely. So that one is super simple. It's 1 cup of gluten-free flour. Self-raising is usually what I'd go for. Maybe Dove's, it's kind of really nice ingredients. And then 1 cup of buttermilk and 1 egg, and that's it. And that makes lovely little fluffy buttermilk pancakes. Mix that all together, melt maybe a tablespoon of butter in the pan, lash that back into the batter, and then that's kind of a bit of a more luxurious texture, and it makes lovely kind of, little stackable ones, and maple syrup and a little bit of lemon or something on top. It's perfect.
So you have a blog?
Yes, so my blog is Finn's World.
So anyone who wants to get some of your recipes can find them there.
So actually that pancake recipe and also a really lovely recipe for Irish soda bread is up on that blog at the moment.
Yes, well, I can vouch for the soda bread. And now you're writing a book.
Yes, so the book is the same name as well. It's Finn's World, and it's just all the recipes I developed over the last couple of years. So as well as being gluten-free, they're also kind of very student friendly, very rental kitchen friendly. You only need a hand blender. There's no fancy equipment, no ingredients you've never heard of, and it's all nice and straightforward.
Well, Finn, I'm thinking of all the mums and students out there, and everybody actually who's been diagnosed as celiac. Have you any advice for them? Because you've really come through this journey.
I would say, especially at the start, you're probably still weak, still tired, it's all a little bit overwhelming, is to just take it really, really easy. Don't try to take on loads of complicated recipes or loads of expensive dishes you've never eaten before. Literally get like some good soup recipes, one good bread recipe, soda bread maybe, and simple breakfasts, porridges. Even millet is like another grain kind of similar to oats, and that's really, really easy on your system, really easy to digest. So just take it handy at the start, and you can be Gordon Ramsay later.
Well, that's a very good point, but also you were mentioning that you can go to some of the discount supermarkets. You don't have to buy in expensive places.
This is it. I mean, I would say actually when we were doing the shoot for the cookbook, we bought nearly everything in Aldi. It's probably got the best, I would think, the most affordable gluten-free section, but also it's all organic, so it's kind of two birds at one stone, and it means your grocery bills aren't going to double just because you're going gluten-free.